We will now begin the session 3 on innovative applications for a future-ready non-ferrous ecosystem. The moderator for this session is Mr. Ajit Advani. Ajit Advani is an advocate of sustainable development and advises developing country governments on energy efficiency policies. Ajit Advani has previously worked with the International Copper Association in various capacities such as Global Director, Sustainable Energy Initiative, Deputy Regional Director, Asia and CEO, India, and continues to be an advisor to the organization. Prior to this, he has worked for over 27 years in the electrical engineering industry, the principal user of copper. He is an electrical engineer. I now invite him to introduce the session theme and set pace for the discussions. Mr. Ajit Advani.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the kind introduction. I'm sure everyone has heard the management catchphrase, innovate or perish. So innovation is critical for the success of any industry, but more so for the non-ferrous industry, which is, I think everyone will agree, rather more traditional. Innovation will grow the industry faster than the economy by enabling us to address applications which are currently being served by other materials. But it can also uncover new applications which do not exist today. I want to share some quotes from a man whose name has become synonymous with innovation, Steve Jobs. And I'm sure anyone who has used an iPod, an iPad, an iPhone, or a Mac will agree. Innovation has nothing to do with your R&D budget. When Apple came up with the Mac, IBM was spending 100 times more on R&D. It's not just about money. It's about the people you have, how they are led, and how much you get the message. You can't just ask customers what they want and try to give that to them. A lot of times, people don't know what they want until you show it to them. And innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So think of Uber and Ola and Airbnb, where simple ideas have transformed our way of life. All these innovations fulfill societal needs that existed, but the world did not know that they existed until somebody, a brilliant innovator like Steve Jobs, came along and showed us the way. But innovation is not restricted to new applications alone. We just heard from Mr. Anshul Gupta about what could happen on the recycling side. So maybe innovation would be about new ways of recycling that are more environmental friendly or more responsive to human health needs. It could be about improved production technologies or processes that again bring about improvements in competitiveness. It could be about different ways of handling financial risks, and we have an example of Metlex.com here today. It could be about innovative marketing strategies that uncover new ways to customers, new ways to grow domestic markets or to grow exports. So we have a distinguished panel to discuss all this and more today. And our first speaker is Mr. L. Pugazenti, and he will speak on lead and zinc industry in India, the emerging scenario. L. Pugazenti, or Pug as he likes to be known and is known, is the past president of the Indian Institute of Metals. He is also the executive director at India Lead and Zinc Development Association. Recently, Mr. Pug was the chairman of the Advisory Committee on Materials constituted by the Department of Science and Technology for preparing the Technology Vision 2035. He has about 40 years' experience in the metals industry. He was also the chairman of the Sectional Committee of BIS, drafting national standards for the Indian metals industry. Pug has served as an active member of various committees in the Ministry of Environment and Forests, Central Pollution Control Board, Ministry of Mines, etc., as well as the various 5-year plan subgroups on non-ferrous metals. He has worked very closely with the Ministry of Environment and Forests in introducing the necessary environmental norms as well as legislations, and creating a greater awareness for an organized collection and environment-friendly recycling of used lead batteries in India. Mr. L. Pogazenti.